Imagine making a final plan, a plan for your own farewell. You sit at your kitchen table, the weight of years behind you, thinking about the people you love and the legacy you'll leave behind. You want to make things easier for them, to spare them the pain of difficult decisions when you're gone. So, you meet with a funeral director, someone who promises to honor your wishes and guide your family through their darkest days. You trust them with your most personal details, believing they'll carry out your final requests with dignity and care. You sign the papers, pay the money, and feel a sense of peace, believing you've lifted a burden from your family. The funeral director assures you everything will be handled, and you leave with a lighter heart. But what if that trust was misplaced? What if the person you relied on had a hidden agenda? What if the person you trusted had a motive to see your end come sooner? In one quiet Midwestern town, this nightmare became a reality. For the people of Harmony Creek, the unthinkable happened. The person meant to provide comfort became a source of dread. This story, based on true events, is about the betrayal of a sacred duty. The funeral director, a supposed guardian of your legacy, twisted people's final wishes into a cold, calculated scheme. The arrangements meant to bring peace became a death warrant. The ultimate trust became the ultimate betrayal. In Harmony Creek, evil wore the most convincing of masks. Harmony Creek was a town where everyone knew each other, where neighbors waved from their porches and children played until dusk. Life moved at a gentle pace, and trust was the foundation of every relationship. At the very heart of this close-knit community stood Harrington & Sons Funeral Home, a landmark as familiar as the town square itself. For generations, the Harrington family guided Harmony Creek through its most difficult moments, earning a deep and abiding trust from everyone who walked through their doors. Michael Harrington, always calm and impeccably dressed, was more than just a funeral director. He was a friend, a confidant, and a steady presence in times of sorrow. He listened to people's stories, patiently explained their options, and made them feel genuinely cared for, no matter their circumstances. Signing a prepaid contract with Michael felt like making an arrangement with family. People left his office feeling lighter, reassured that their loved ones would be honored. No one suspected him of wrongdoing. In fact, most couldn't imagine the town without him. The funeral home was a legacy, founded by Michael's grandfather, expanded by his father, and modernized by Michael, who took pride in every detail. He spoke often of duty and tradition, reinforcing his image as the town's guardian of grief and memory. Michael was everywhere, at church, at community events, at every fundraiser and town meeting. Always offering a comforting word, his reputation was spotless, his presence reassuring. People trusted him with their most personal plans, sharing secrets and wishes they told no one else. No one questioned the sincerity behind his gentle smile or the warmth in his handshake. To Harmony Creek, Michael Harrington was simply good, dependable Michael, the man everyone could count on, no matter what. Prepaid funeral plans seemed like the perfect solution. Pay now, lock in prices, and secure your family's peace of mind for the future. For many, it was a way to spare loved ones from the emotional and financial stress that comes with planning a funeral. The money was supposed to be safe, locked away in trust accounts, untouchable until a certified death certificate was presented. For clients, it meant peace of mind. For funeral homes, it meant guaranteed business and a steady stream of income. But the entire system relied on one thing: the integrity of the funeral director. Michael Harrington saw a flaw. He realized that the sooner a client died, the sooner he could access their money. With mounting debts, a taste for luxury, and bills piling up, temptation grew stronger every day. Each prepaid contract became a potential payday, just waiting for a heartbeat to stop. The trust accounts were like locked treasure chests, and a death certificate was the only key. For most, ethics would be enough to keep temptation at bay. For Michael, they weren't. The promise of peace for his clients became a dangerous incentive for him, a deadly opportunity. The system's fatal flaw was its reliance on trust, a trust that could be easily betrayed. In Harmony Creek, that trust would soon be shattered, with consequences no one could have foreseen. Michael Harrington allegedly decided he could no longer wait, and the line between business and murder began to blur. The first signs were subtle, noticed by Brenda Mills, a seasoned nurse at Harmony Creek Nursing Center. She'd worked there for years, and nothing escaped her watchful eye. Brenda began to notice a strange pattern. Whenever Michael Harrington, the local funeral director, visited a prepaid client, that resident died soon after. It was never immediate, but always within days. At first, Brenda dismissed it as coincidence. But the pattern repeated, again and again, too often to ignore. Residents who had been stable would suddenly decline after Michael's visits. Some suffered unexpected medical emergencies, others simply faded away. Brenda shared her concerns with colleagues, but they dismissed her worries. These were elderly people, after all. Still, families felt uneasy, sensing something was off. Some families were shocked by how quickly Michael appeared after a death, or by how sudden the loss was. It felt too convenient, too rehearsed. The official cause was always listed as natural, but doubts lingered in the air, unspoken but heavy. The whispers grew, but no one dared accuse Michael. He was too respected, too trusted, a pillar of the community. Grief and suspicion mixed, but there was no proof, only uneasy glances and quiet conversations. Brenda kept watching, her unease growing with every visit, every unexplained decline. Families mourned, torn between grief and suspicion, unsure if their instincts were right or if it was just the pain of loss. The whispers remained just that, quiet, isolated, and unheeded, echoing through the halls. In the respectful silence Michael cultivated, suspicion had no place to grow. But the truth was waiting quietly to be uncovered, hidden in plain sight, just beyond the whispers. The silence finally broke with David Chen, the funeral home's new embalmer. Young and meticulous, David noticed troubling details. Michael often retrieved bodies alone, late at night, with paperwork that didn't add up. He found tiny puncture wounds on certain bodies, always prepaid clients. As an expert in toxicology, David noticed odd chemical reactions during embalming, hinting at foreign substances. When he questioned Michael, he was told to mind his own business. The marks were dismissed as hospital IVs, but David knew better. Fearful but determined, he documented everything. The marks, the paperwork, the chemical anomalies. The burden of suspicion grew unbearable. David realized he held a secret that could destroy the town's trust. Finally, he gathered his evidence and went to the police. The whispers were about to become a roar. David's courage would change everything. The truth was about to surface. Detective Frank Miller was skeptical when David Chen came forward, but David's evidence was compelling. Miller started with the money. Discovering the funeral home was deep in debt, while Michael lived lavishly. Every large deposit matched the death of a prepaid client. The financial trail was damning. With this evidence, Miller secured a court order to exhume several recent clients. The town was shocked, but the exhumations were necessary. Forensic pathologists, with David's help, found lethal doses of a rare muscle relaxant in the bodies. The poison mimicked natural causes, leaving only tiny puncture marks. The official death certificates were wrong. These were murders. The investigation revealed a horrifying truth. Michael Harrington was arrested, charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder. Harmony Creek's trust had been fatally betrayed. The town would never be the same. Michael Harrington's trial gripped Harmony Creek, as families testified about their loved ones and the betrayal they suffered. The prosecution presented financial records, forensic evidence, and David Chen's testimony. The defense claimed the deaths were natural, but the evidence was overwhelming. The jury's verdict was swift guilty on all counts. The case sent shockwaves through the funeral industry, prompting new regulations and stricter oversight of prepaid plans. It became a cautionary tale in mortuary science schools, a lesson in the dangers of unchecked trust. Families learned to ask hard questions. Who controls the funds? How are they secured? Insist on independent statements from the trust or insurance company. Be wary of directors who show unusual interest in clients' health. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. In life's final chapter, trust must be earned and verified. The story of Harmony Creek is a solemn reminder. Accountability matters most when we are most vulnerable. Even in our final plans, vigilance is the only true peace of mind.